This is our first game coder video, so we want to just get started writing some code. The easiest way to write code these days is just to use a web browser. Web browser, you can write JavaScript. A lot of games today are written in JavaScript, run directly in the web browser, so that's a good way to start. You don't need any programming languages or any expensive tools or anything like that. You can start with just what comes installed on your computer from scratch. So here we go. We're going to start by making a file. Okay, the file is where the game's going to be, the code's going to be stored. So we do new file. I'm just going to click text document, and we need to give it a name. So I'm going to call it game coder 001. Notice text document, by default it will end with a .txt extension. We call this bit the extension. I'm going to change that to HTML. So HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. This is a file that's going to store our game code, which we're writing in JavaScript, and also the display parts, which we write in HTML or Hypertext Markup Language. Okay, so we want to change the extension. Yes. So the extension is a hint for any programs on the computer to know, it's a hint for the computer, the Windows operating system. Gives it a hint as to which program to use to run the file or open the file. So we've called it HTML. As you can see, that icon there is changed to Firefox, which is what I use for my web browser most of the time. So if I now go and double click that, it's going to open that file in something called Firefox, which is a web browser. I'm sure you know what a web browser is. If you didn't know what a web browser is, you probably wouldn't have got to this video. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to bang that across to this side of the screen. So we're on Windows 7 here. Windows 7, Windows 8. You can, if you drag any window to the side of the screen, it'll snap to the half of the screen. So I can do that. I can slide it to the other side, or I can use the Windows key on left and it'll snap to that side. Or if I drag it to the top, it'll snap it full screen. Okay, so I'm going to snap it to the side. So here I've opened this file, right? Game code 001. So I've created the file on the desktop just to make life easier for us, so you don't need to find the file. It's just going to be there on the desktop. You don't have to worry about using File Explorer to find it. But what I am going to have to do now is edit the file to put something in it, because as you can see, it's just blank, right? There's nothing here. It's a white page. There's nothing in it. Web page has not even got a title. So what I'm going to have to do is run a text editing program, and Windows comes with one, and Mac OS comes with one, Linux comes with one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down here, I'm going to click that, and then here I'm going to click Notepad. I think that should find it for me. Yep, Notepad. Now if you're on Windows 8, it might be slightly different. You can hit the Windows key and F and do find, and you'll find Notepad. So here we are. Okay, so this is now my text editor. I'm going to use this to write my first program. What I want to do is tell this text editor to edit this file that I've just created. So I'm going to drag that and drop that on there. So now we're actually editing game coder 001. We're editing that file. Okay, so I can put something in it. Hello world. Okay, every programmer uses hello world as their first program. So let me go file save. Okay, I've saved that. Now nothing's appeared over here, right? There's no hello world on screen. That's because I need to refresh. So let's hit this. You can hit this. This does a refresh, and you can see it's hello world has appeared. There's another way you can refresh. You can go with somewhere up here. File, no, I don't know what it is. Okay, but what you can do is I know it anyway. You hit the F5 key on Windows, F5. That also does refresh. That's quicker. And when, like here, I did file save, you can also do Control S. Don't worry if you don't remember that. You don't need to know all these details from day one. Okay, so let's get a move on with this. This is taking too long. Okay, so this is text. Okay, this is not really what you call a HTML document. Okay, but the web browser is very smart. It sees this in the file and it goes, well, I don't know what it is, so I'll just bang it out onto the screen. What we should do if we want to write an HTML document is put some tags in there. Okay, this tells the browser more accurately what type of document this is. And when I say document, we use the word document. Some people's, I call this a HTML document. Some people call it a web page or a website, but it all basically means the same thing. It's just basically the page that the web browser is going to show you. So I've done here, I've said start HTML, end HTML. Okay, this is a useful hint to the web browser, like, oh, this is HTML. There are a few sections that you have in an HTML document. You have a header and you have a body. You'll notice these all come in pairs. Body means start of body, slash body means end of body. Okay, and we want one more because this is a program, not just static or unchanging. Static means unchanging. It's not just static or unchanging content, it's a program. So we have another one, script. Script is where code goes, so let me explain these three sections. Head. This is just a heading for the page. It contains useful meta information. So I'm going to give you an example. Title. Game coder 001 slash title, end of title. So start of heading, start of title, end of title, end of heading. I'm going to save. Alt F S or Control S will save. Going to go over here. I'm going to hit my F5 again. Hey, everything's disappeared. What did happen? You will notice that game coder 001 has appeared up there. Let me just show you. 0001, save, refresh, 0001. Okay, let's go back. 001, save, refresh. There we go. Script. Now, so that's the heading. Script is where the code goes, the JavaScript. Think of, you go see a movie. Movie's got lots of actors. Actors use scripts, so they know what they're doing. Script is script tag. Script is where the code goes. Tells the browser what to do for clever coding stuff. Okay, we'll come back to script. Body. This is where the words and stuff should really go. So like before, I had the hello world. Hello world. That's where hello world really should go, in the body. Come over here, hello world. You can do we can do other stuff. Okay, we're gonna do H1 is heading. We can do a hello world in there. So this is called markup. All these tags, these are tags or markup. So this is a heading tag, H1 heading tag, end of heading tag. So basically that means it's going to be a heading or title. Okay, see, headings are big, everything else is small. Heading, big, other stuff is small. So now I'm going to type some, what I'm going to do now, I'm going to type some stuff in here. You might not fully understand all of it, and that might be the homework for you to kind of follow up and figure out what all these things do. But just to get us started with a game, I'm going to write some stuff. And well, I call it a game. It's not really a game. It's coding. It's, this is basically introductory coding to get us started. So I'm going to do a div. I'm going to give it an ID, which is its identifier. I'm going to call it left wall. Okay. And I'm going to give it some style. So its style is going to be, it's going to have a width of 10 pixels. It's going to have a height of, let's go 400 pixels high for now. It's going to be, its top corner is going to be 0 pixels, and its left corner is going to be 0 pixels because this is a left wall. And it's going to have a background of look at this one, green. Is it background or is it background color? You know what, we're going to find out in a second. So let's see what that does. Oh, we've got a green line down the side, and guess what, it's 10 pixels wide, width 10 pixels, and it's 400 pixels long. Ooh. This is quite a high density screen. So, well, I say high density. It's, anyway, and it's in the top left corner. There's a bit not quite in the right up top in the corner, is it? Well, we'll come back to that. We can fix that if we need to. Then it's got background is green, and you'll notice it all looks green. And what we're basically saying is the background color of this div is green. Okay, so that's one. And I got div/div. These don't have to be on separate lines. And in fact, I'm going to put them in the same line. And okay, what I did there was copy and paste. Okay, if you're typing along at home, which you should be, so I selected all that line, and then I did copy, which you can find here, edit, copy, and then I did edit, paste. Okay, but I did it quick because I did Control-C, Control-V. You'll hear people say Control-C, Control-V, that means copy and paste. This is going to be my right wall. Okay, and it's going to be similar. It's going to be as wide and as high, and it's going to be at the top, but its left is going to be different. I'm going to make it 600 across the screen. Not 5,600. And I'm going to make it a different color. I'm going to make it red. Okay, that was easy. Let's see if it worked. Oh, it didn't work. Okay, I need one more attribute. Okay, and if you're an expert, you probably knew this. Position fixed. Is that right? I think that's right. And of course, if you're an expert, you wouldn't be watching this. And if you're an expert, you'd probably also tell me, hey, you shouldn't be doing that style inline. You should be using style sheets and classes. And you're probably right, but we'll come to that later. Okay, now it's popped into the corner. So we got a green bar and a red bar. And that's taken us 12 minutes already. Incredible. Coding, it's easy. Okay, I want another div, and this is going to have an ID of player, and it's going to have some style. Fixed. Oops. Let's type width 10 pixels. Height. This is not as big. You see, this is small, and you'll see why. Top. I'm going to put it at 200, and I'm going to put its left at 200, and I'm going to give it a background of yellow. So notice I'm using words for these colors, and that's good and bad. It's somewhat limiting if you use words, because you can only use there we go, there's yellow. It's difficult to see that. Maybe yellow is a bad color. You see, so using words is okay, but you're somewhat limited to colors that have got real names. Instead of words, you can also use color codes, which are a bit different. So I can do something like this. Zero FF. Okay, and that means something to me and the computer. Oops, wrong button. 0FF. I hit F5, but I was in the wrong window. Oh, see, that's gone magenta. Yeah. Maybe I'll just go with blue. So basically these, you notice this is 3 digits or 3 letters. 0, that's 0, not the letter O, it's the number 0. But that means how much red, how much blue, and no, how much red, how much green, and how much blue. And I've said no red, no green, and F blues. What does F mean? Oh, we'll come back to that. We'll come back to that one. Just know that means very blue, whereas FO would mean very red. I keep doing that. Wrong window, that window. Very red, and OFO would mean very green. Okay. Splendid. Okay, let's go back to blue. So we've not written any code yet. What we've done is we've put some markup in there. That's markup, HTML. And so what this is like, we're starting with something like a Pong game. So this is a wall, this is a wall, and this is a player, and we're going to make him walk across the screen. Sound good? Let's do that in the next video, because I think you're tired. But before we end it, what I will give you for homework, so homework, learn by doing, okay? You always learn more by doing. So you might want to go, for homework this week, might want to go and figure out these color codes, okay? If you Google HTML color code. You don't have to Google. You can Bing it if you want. But HTML color codes, I think you will see what 00F is blue means. Okay. So that's some homework. See you next time.